Alright, BoobTube. Small little update since I'm not going to be able to get a video out tomorrow. So I figured I'd just do a little quick update. Been working on a lot of stuff in the background for the car. Started on oil lines for the car. I have a fender off, and I'll walk you through why I have a fender off. Have the oil cooler thermostat mounted, nice and solid. Ordered a belt, some V-belts, so that I could coordinate where I want the lines to run, and the belts were too small, so I'm waiting on longer, or I'm just going to go pick up some longer ones instead of waiting on some from Rock Auto again. Completed my first douche connector. These are really, really nice to work with. So I really like how easy it is to build and connect and everything. So that one is done. I just cut the original cast because I don't know what this is, and all the digging that I did online, it's some sort of Tomoyo or something like that kind of connector, but I couldn't guarantee the one that I was ordering was the right one, and they're like, it was like $5 or $6 for one of them, so I was like, I'll just stick a Dutch connector on the cast. Radiator hoses are on. Reason why I have a fender off is I believe what I'm going to end up doing, since I want to run a flat bottom on this car, and from the history of what I know about running aerodynamics on these cars, even a factory 1.8 Miata will generate too much heat for the transmission rear end to run a flat bottom. So with that in mind, I was like, well, I might as well just go ahead and dump it out the side, because the rotaries run even hotter. So my goal is to not kick that bucket over. My goal is to hopefully, I'm probably going to cut this back, cut this whole corner out, invert it, weld it back in so that I have routing. And I'm going to build the exhaust. I'm going to do some pie cuts, build the exhaust the best that I can that's away from everything heat-wise, and it runs out this way. And then since I haven't ever really shown this side of the car much, the door's got some damage and the rocker's got some damage from, I don't know, I think somebody smacked a freaking concrete pole like in like a ATM drive-through line or something. I'm going to cut the rocker out and run the exhaust down the length of the rocker and have it dump right there. And hopefully that will help me pass sound, since most tracks seem to have sound on the driver's side, and it's just going to dump on the passenger side. But, you know, we shall see. But that's what I'm going to start on next, since really the only thing that I have left to do is put the roll cage in, and then it's wiring and stuff, and then it should be ready to fire. All I have to do is do some fuel line stuff. Also, doing the exhaust that direction, it'll keep me from having to run new fuel lines, since the only spot that the fuel lines will get hot is right here where the exhaust will cross underneath, and I'll build a shield and everything to help keep all of that warm, because cool, because also the rear brake lines run down that way. It's almost like Mazda built the header, was intending for the header to be on this side of the motor or something. So with all that, let's see what else. Got so Hoond Developments. I believe they're either from UK or Australia. It's Australia. They make a brake booster delete kit, and it adjusts it. It gives you a thing to drill a hole and adjust the leverage on the brake pedal itself and everything, so you keep the stock feeling pedal throw, but you don't have the booster. And since I'm not going to run a reference from the rear or the front rotor for a brake booster vacuum, because I really don't want to have to deal with tuning the two rotors that much differently. I should preface that much differently. so that one has a vacuum on it that shouldn't cause a tune difference, but since it's going to have a giant opening and everything else there, it would cause a tune difference. So that that is that. And then once, so I mean, really the next big thing is going to be the roll cage. So have to get the roll cage ordered. I've been putting it off because it's a large sum of money. Been doing some house projects, stuff like that, but it's gotten to the point to where I can't move forward until I have the roll cage. So the roll cage is probably going to get ordered here within the week or so. But yeah, so the next video you see, hopefully it'll be just chunks of me doing little bitty things. I haven't really recorded much, but I'll do kind of like the time, not the time lapse, but like the clips, like the few second clips of me doing stuff on the car like I have been doing, like when I build something, or in the last few videos. If you've watched any of those, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so with that, I'm gonna leave y'all off here and go get started on figuring out how I'm gonna pay for that roll cage. So until next time, guys, happy prepping.